So what we're doing today, you guys remember last class, one, you got into your Onshape account, right? So everyone should have that. I know a couple of you guys might have been gone. Once I get everyone started today, flag me down and make sure I get you caught back up and show you how to get that account set up. Guys, can you guys put your phones away, please? Like pockets or backpacks. Again, you're not supposed to have them. We don't need them for this class. So if you guys are gone and Luke, you're gone, I'll get you caught up and get you, make sure you're in your account. You'll need that for most of the rest of this class. Today, we're going to continue to learn how to use that software and how to make it do the things that we want to do. I gave you guys kind of that crash course tutorial. Today we're doing very simple geometries. If you remember the isometric sketching activity, those three blocks, there's a rectangular block, a triangular block, and then a cylinder. You're going to make those three different things in Onshape. You're going to make each of those parts and get a screenshot for each of them with correct dimensions. That's another thing we're adding. And then you're going to do a fourth part where you're going to recreate all three of those things, but in the same 3D space. So they're not separate files or documents, as Onshape calls them. You're going to make, imagine that you would take those blocks and stack them on each other somehow. That's what you're going to do, but in the 3D space. So you would have to figure out, like, okay, I drew my rectangle. Now how do I draw a cylinder on top of that rectangle? And so that's that fourth screenshot or fourth thing you're going to make. For you guys, a lot of stuff you've done drawings or we've done things in class and you've turned it in. Well, now that we are switching and doing a lot more 3D design work, I can't have you like turn in your computer and let me check your work. So this is where we're going to switch to really start to use Google Classroom a lot more in order to submit things. So virtual students, this will be all the same. You'll submit like you've always done in Classroom. My Project Lead the Way is still where the primary assignment is, right? That's whatever activity we're doing. Whenever I say 1.2.2, you should know he's talking My Project Lead the Way. That's where I need to go. That's got the full instructions. A lot of times on specific ones, I'm going to modify them and tell you specifically what to do. So make sure you read both of those. But now, instead of submitting, a drawing, you guys are going to be submitting like screenshots to Google Classroom, right? So today is the first time you guys are going to do that. I need to remind you guys, make sure that you attach your work to the submission. I've had tons of students submit things on Google Classroom. It's just blank. That they submitted and I go to look at their assignment and there's just nothing in there. There's no attachments, no text. So I have to give them a 0 because they didn't give me anything. It's like turning in a blank sheet of paper. So please be mindful. Make sure that you're actually attaching, a Google Doc, your screenshots, a Word document, whatever you're submitting, make sure it's attached. That way when it comes to me, I can see your work and actually grade it. So that's the other new thing for today. You guys, if you go on Classroom, I've got 1.2.2 3D solid modeling. That's what we're doing today. Again, when you read in My Project Lead the Way, there's a lot of Fusion 360 commentary. You can read that in a general sense, but no, we're not using that software. Onshape is basically the same thing, but it's not the specific instructions they call out a lot of times. And then I also, in the assignment on Classroom, I attached a picture with measurements of the objects you're going to make. So they're all right there. You just need to make 3 different models of the 3 blocks. Make another model where you make all 3 of them again, but in the same space. I also gave instructions. If you guys have the ability to screenshot, that's the best. Just take a screenshot of your whole screen and submit that. That's the easiest. A lot of you guys don't have that ability. Last class, half the kids were like, yeah, they updated, and I think something about your one standardized test, they updated and it kind of shut down a lot of stuff. The workaround is I gave instructions, but in Onshape, in whatever document you're doing, you can click the, it's like the hamburger menu, the 3 horizontal lines, and you can print. And when you print in there, you can have the option to just download an image, and it'll give you a space on your screen that it's going to print. So you just move your model so that it's in that dotted line, and then print that. It's going to print an image and give you an image file. And that image file is what you would submit as your screenshot. So that's the workaround in case a lot of you guys don't have that feature. All right? So that's what we're doing today. If you get that done early, that's great. I want you to keep tinkering with Onshape. Try to make random stuff. One, you can try to make objects in the room. Like this would be a good thing to try and make because it's a couple simple geometric shapes added together. You can try to make actual stuff, or you can think of stuff your own. I had some kids making a Rubik's Cube in the software. Well, then they just kept fiddling with the features, and they made just a weird geometric shape. But the point was to like keep learning, like what do the buttons do? Like I've never used this button. What does it do? You can hover over, let it tell you, like this is how you use it, and then try to use it and see what it does. That's going to be to your benefit. The better you know the software and learn it, the easier all your other assignments are going to be because you've already done stuff like this. And it just takes time. That's why we're doing this, is to practice. I posted in the Onshape, I did a beginner's tutorial. It's an hour. It's a long one, but you can watch it at like 1.5 speed or something. But if you really want to have a solid understanding of Onshape, that could be an hour well spent. That will make it easier for you in all your other assignments using Onshape to understand the basics, so that if I ask you to, draw me an archway, you know exactly like, oh, I'm going to draw a 3D rectangle, I'm going to draw a semicircle, and I'm going to cut it all the way through. Boom. You start to get better and better at it. But so everyone's got their Onshape account, right? Luke, I'll get you yours. You all should have that. You'll need it a lot. Whenever you make a part, Onshape calls them documents. So you log in the main screen. Top left, there's a create button. Create a new document. Call it what you want. The instructions in myPLTW also suggest file structure and file organization. This is your work, so use your discretion, but I would recommend being very organized about your work. Make a folder for Unit 1. We have 4 units. We'll make a folder for Unit 1. Then you can make a folder for every lesson. All right, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. And then all your individual parts that you make, you can just call 1.2.1, 1.3.5, whatever it is. I would recommend that a lot to keep yourself organized, so that if I ask you like, hey, go back to this file that we did, we're going to use it again, you know where it's at. It's not just in a list of stuff. Any other questions? Adrian? No. The reason I say that is because that's getting into assemblies. If you put 3 parts and then move them on each other, you're assembling. We're not quite there yet. What I want you to do is a practice, like it's additive modeling, where I make something and then I add something to it and then I add something to that. That's what I'm wanting you to practice, and that's why I say make them individually, and then in a single document, make them on each other, right? So I make my rectangle, my rectangular 3D object, and then off of that, I need to figure out how I'm going to make a cylinder off of that surface. That's what I want you to practice. Yep. So again, you'll have 4 documents you'll make. one for each of the shapes, and then the fourth one, you recreate those shapes, but like stacked on each other, however you want. All right? Aiden, do you have a question? I can come over there. Okay. Any other questions about what we're doing today and what the goal is? Again, if you finish early, I want you to start making other stuff. You could even like watch tutorial videos about Onshape if you want, but I want this time to be spent learning Onshape so that you understand it. It's going to make your life easier every other assignment after this, and I don't want to tell you over the weekend like, oh, just hang out here, but then on the weekend, stop whatever you're doing and learn Onshape so that you're ready. I want you to spend this time now focusing on that, figuring stuff out. Let me know if you have questions. I can show you if you're like, I really want to learn this feature. Can you show me how to do that? I can help you get started. So I'll just be going around the room. Reminder, all 4 screenshots is what's due by the end of class. 90 minutes should be plenty of time to get all these done. All right, so make sure you submit those 4 things in classroom before you leave today. Any other questions before I turn you loose? Good? Okay, great. The virtual students, I'm going to go ahead and stop this since the rest of the time is just work time on that activity. It should be straightforward. And again, I guess email me if you need questions. Otherwise, it should be pretty straightforward.